So welcome everyone to Make Six Figures in 6 months. I am super passionate about this topic because I have been there. I have literally been in the situation where I could not afford food and I was really struggling and didn't know a way out. So I'm going to teach you everything I have learned through my entrepreneurial journey from a business perspective. And if you have any more questions about anything that I go over, feel free to reach out to me one-on-one. I give free consultation calls and I'm happy to support you or point you in the right direction. As well, I have our membership, our monthly membership, where I go live and do training every other week. What that means is if you have a lot of questions, then I can make sure that I answer them and do trainings that will make sure that you get all that information. So here we go. Who am I? So if you don't know who I am, my name is Vanessa Ortali. I am a speaker, coach, and entrepreneur. Honestly, I've been an entrepreneur my entire life, officially for the past 10 to 15 years. And I'm also a mindset and business enthusiast. So I have been studying mindset for officially 15 years. I'm a licensed coach. I've trained with the Heart Math Institute in California. I've done a ton of training with cognitive behavioral therapy and everything you need to get your mind in check. But I'm also a business school graduate and just am obsessed with business. So myself, I have hired the best coaches throughout my life to really help me through my mindset journey as well as my business development. So I'm going to share with you everything that I know. And yeah, I work with leaders and celebrities to help them scale their business. And the most important thing here is I want to make sure that you and my clients feel good in business, because I feel like there is a gap between being an entrepreneur and then executing your business and your mindset, because so often we get in this hustle and grind mode. So if you're done with the hustle and grind, I'm going to help you make sure that you feel good while you're executing your business. Let's go. Here we go. So who is this presentation for? If you are an entrepreneur or business professional who wants to excel in the online space. At the time of this presentation, we are in a global pandemic, otherwise known as COVID. And so everyone is being forced to move online. I was lucky enough to move my business online before COVID. So during COVID, I 10x'd my business, which was super great. I maxed out all of my programs and actually built an online course so that I could service more people. So I'm going to teach you exactly how I did that. Now, what we're going to go over today, we are going to talk about generating new leads. We're going to talk about knowing your numbers, what numbers you have to know. We're going to chat quickly about building your offer. Then we're going to go down and talk about how to provide value and create customization in your business so you are making money while you sleep. And then we have your call to action. So how do you actually turn your leads into sales and convert them into money in your bank account? And that now goes into the last part, which we're going to chat sales. So you can see we're going to talk about a lot of things today. So I wouldn't be me if I didn't talk about this. Before we go into the business strategy, which is super important, I do have to tell you that business strategy is simple. I'm going to teach you very simple concepts. What is going to cause you to succeed or fail isn't necessarily your strategy, it's your mind. So I have a client here who gave me a beautiful testimonial and said that she thought that being successful was all that business stuff like marketing, sales, ads, funnels, all the stuff we're going to talk about today. And yes, it's important, but the mental blocks is actually what scaled her business. Really figuring out where her blind spots were so that she could excel and scale. So here we go. I have here, so last week, or 2 weeks ago when I did my last online workshop, I did a workshop called The Millionaire Mind. If you want a copy of The Millionaire Mind, just send me a DM. In probably Instagram will be best, or Facebook, and then I will send you a copy of that so you can enjoy. As well, today, officially, November 16th, 2020, I launched my online course called Launch Your Power. and it's all about how to create abundance and adopt a millionaire mind in every area of your life. So we go into networking, relationships, romantic and platonic. We talk about your relationship with self, and then we talk about business strategy. So if you want more information, you can go to launchyourpower.com/online-course. And right now until November 18th, you can use the promo early bird and get $400 off. Okay, business strategy. So here you can see here, my client already, she had a successful business. She was making over 6 figures, but learning how to implement specific strategies, which we're going to talk about today, were able to help her to scale her business within the first call that we spoke together. So I can't wait to get into this with you. All right, here we go. We're diving right in. So new lead generation. I'm going to go over all the ways that you can get new leads right now. What this means is you're going to have to show up. You're going to have to really commit to being your best self and expanding what is comfortable. A lot of these things are going to be uncomfortable, but they work if you commit to it. Here's the thing to also note. If they do not work the first time, it does not mean they do not work. It means adapt, shift your perception, and then you continue to pivot and succeed. So it's not necessarily that the thing didn't work. Maybe your wording didn't work. Maybe the topic that you talked about did not work. So we're going to go from there. Here we go. Community growth. Here's really, really important things to consider. I talk about this all the time. When you're growing your community, it's actually about emails. I don't care how many followers you have. I have clients that have 100 followers, and I have clients that have 100,000 followers. Their revenue doesn't necessarily change. Yes, it helps as you continue to grow and have the right structure and funnels in place, but I need you to make sure you're getting people's emails. I don't care how many followers you have on Instagram or Facebook. If you don't have their emails and a way to contact them, it's worth nothing. So how to expand your email list. I'm going to go over a bunch of options here. Number one is an opt-in. If at any point in time you have no idea what I'm talking about, it's okay. Ask a question in the chat box and or DM me one-on-one. So your opt-in. An opt-in means someone is giving you their email address and or phone number to get information. You're going to see these all the time on ads on Facebook and Instagram. You're going to opt in for a free workbook, for a download, for a webinar similar to this. So one other thing that I love, which you probably are seeing a lot more of, is a summit or retreat. I'm going to go into the details of how to do this in this workshop, but right now I want to give you an overview. So I need you to make sure that you have a way to collect emails, okay? So when you're building out your strategy after this webinar, I want you to look at, okay, how am I collecting emails moving forward? Pick one and then go. Am I going to do a summit? Am I going to do a challenge, a download? What are you doing to collect emails? Then you can also engage in contests. Contests are really popular on social media right now. I have seen people buy a Louis Vuitton handbag and they spend $1,000 on a handbag in order to run a contest so they can increase their followers and leads. Now, did you notice? Depending on your structure, I want to make sure you're collecting emails. So if you're going to do a contest or giveaway to promote followers, make sure you're converting those into emails and funneling them to a download, a freebie, a webinar, a workshop. You need to keep your leads moving. And I'm going to show you a map of that so you can kind of apply it to your business. Another way, obviously, for lead generation, PR, media, being on podcasts, speaking at online summits and different events. Now, with that, I want to make sure in this, and we're going to go into this, you have to make sure that what you're promoting in an opt-in, in a contest, and on a public speaking event or experience, you're giving people a call to action and something for them to do. So even when you're speaking on a podcast, make sure you have that freebie to direct people there so you can be collecting people's emails. Does that make sense? Okay. If I'm going too fast, let me know. And again, we can ask more questions in the chat box. So articles are also really popular. Now, something that people don't really realize, you see all those people that say like, I've been in Forbes and Entrepreneur Magazine and all of that. A lot of PR and media nowadays is paid for. So people will pay $400, $500, whatever to be in Forbes. So I want to also debunk a lot of things that are out there because it's not as difficult to get articles as you think it is. You can do the paid route or you can do the free route, but it depends and does add credibility to who you are. I can literally, on every single one of these slides, I can do an entire lecture. So come back and ask me questions. Okay, here is that example of the funnel. This is so important. If you get nothing else from this workshop, I need you to walk away from this workshop and build one of these for you. I need you to understand, what is your funnel? Where are your leads coming from? That's your first question. They're coming from Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, blogs, wherever, an opt-in, an event. Where are you sending those people to? Once you've captured the lead or once they're in your community, where do they go? You have to really start to understand this flow and the customer experience. If someone comes into your Instagram, how do they know where else to go? If someone comes into an event or an opt-in, where do they go now? So once you start understanding this structure, you can start building out pathways and automations to make sure that you're making money. So when I first started, right now I have an online community. My main goal is still to get their emails. And so then I funnel them in. So I'm going to give you a specific example after we go through here and you can see my funnel. Then we go into your offer, which is where you're sending them next. But then do you notice here how we have two tiers? If you have a lead and you're selling them a $3,000 offer, nobody's going to buy. You have to nurture that lead. You have to gain trust and authority with those people in order to make the sale and to create a conversion. So I need you to understand, what are my low ticket offers? What are my high ticket offers? If you are just starting out, your low ticket offer can be free. I want you to really pay attention of where your revenue is coming from, and I'm going to break that down for you. So here's an example of my funnel. Now, do you notice that this is just one lead generation? You can do this sort of graph for every single lead generation activity or where people are coming from. So if people are coming in from Instagram, whether it be a post, a story, or a direct message, I have three options to send them to. I'm going to send them to a webinar, I'm going to send them to a one-on-one call, or I'm going to send them to an opt-in. From there, do you see how? Then you can send them to a higher ticket offer. If someone's come through my webinar and they've built that trust and understanding of who I am, then I can send them to a purchase, a one-on-one call, or a further event. So you're always trying to figure out, where are you sending people and where are they going? Is this making sense? I hope in your mind, because I can't see you, that you're thinking, okay, where are people coming in from? Where am I sending them to next? How do I get them comfortable with who I am? And then how do I get them to the sale at the end? So this last column is your sale, your high ticket. How do I get them onto the sale? So see if you follow me at the bottom one, I have an opt-in. So when people are coming through the opt-in and I'm getting their email for a free download or a free resource, where do they go? They can go to a further event or a one-on-one call. Now, depending on what you're selling, that may change if you need some help with that. But normally, if you have a higher ticket item, over $1,000, you're usually going to want to have a one-on-one call in order to sell that product. If it's lower, then you could potentially do that electronically and automate that system. The more automation you can get, the better. So I hope this is making sense. Keep me posted if it is not. Okay, we're now going to break this down. We're going to go into an opt-in. What is an opt-in? I've seen people try to change the system. Now, when you have an opt-in, it is very important to have a lead page. What is a lead page? It's a sales page. It's the web page that they go to in order to enter their email address in order to get the information. You can use, here's a few examples of different platforms you can use. You can use lead pages, you can use Kajabi, ConvertKit, Flowdesk, Kartra. There are so many different options in order to generate a lead page to collect emails. When you collect emails from a lead page, it automatically, when you set it up in the back end, will add to your email subscriber list. You need to build your list. So if you're on this webinar, I want you to be asking yourself right now, what does my email list look like? Do I have 100 people, 200 people, thousands of people? If you start engaging in these opt-in activities, a summit, freebies, you can build thousands of people in your email list who are new leads, okay? So make sure that you have a email list. You can do it free on MailChimp, get something free if it's small right now, and make sure you have a platform that you can build a lead page. Oftentimes your email platform will enable you to create a lead page as well. So you're collecting data. Here's one thing that I want to note, and I've said this multiple times if you've seen me speak. Collecting emails and now phone numbers is important. The next wave is going to be people creating texting communities and providing updates and motivation via text. If you want a really good example of how to build a texting community, go follow Gary Vaynerchuk, and he does an amazing job at nurturing his text community. That is my next move. So you'll see it. You'll see people who say, you know, text me, and that can all be an automated system as well. Now, through your opt-in, I want you then, so this is the order of what you do with your opt-in. You have your lead page, you're collecting the data, then you're providing content. You're providing whatever they gave you the email for, that freebie, that download, whatever. Here's where you need to start thinking about call to action. When someone gets sent that freebie, they get sent the freebie and a thank you. Where are you sending them to? I want you to start thinking of the sale. I don't want you to be thinking of, oh, you know, I'm just sending the information. I'm just collecting emails. Where are you sending them to? So even in that thank you email, send them to your Instagram, send them to your Facebook page. Always be creating movement with your leads. They will then, you can set this up. If this sounds overwhelming, don't worry. When I first learned all this, I was so overwhelmed, half of it went over my head. So if this is the first time you're hearing it, great. Let it just take in what you can. If you've heard this before, maybe it's going to be that extra kick in the butt that's going to get you moving so that you actually start building these things within your business. Now, the next step is to create automated emails. What this means is everybody who signs up for your retreat, your freebie, whatever your opt-in is, they're going to get sent a series of emails, anywhere between 3 to 8 emails that help nurture that relationship so they get to know you better and also gives them a call to action. That's what CTA is. So a call to action to join an event, to join a webinar, to join, to make a one-on-one appointment with you. So we always want to be moving people. No more stagnant energy, okay? So we need to get you into the sales mindset. And it doesn't matter what you sell, whether you're a coach, a personal trainer, or you're selling a product, the same thing goes. You can, if you're selling a hairspray, your opt-in can be 5 easy hairstyles to get you ready for work, or 5 easy Zoom hairstyles since we're all on Zoom. So I want you to be thinking about how this applies within your business. Within your automations, you then can start doing more automations, like when people join your mailing list from your website, you can create a simple automation to help them better understand you and, again, sale. So does this make sense? Okay, if this makes sense, let me know in the comments that this is making sense, because it is a simple concept, but if it's new, some of the language might be a little bit confusing. So here's some more details on exactly what a summit, a challenge, a freebie is. So what a summit or retreat is 80 to 20 interviews where you're interviewing other experts. The important thing to consider here is the people that you're actually doing interviews with. Make sure that they have a big following. Make sure that they have an email list of over 5,000 people. Why? Because they're going to email their database to promote you, to promote the summit, and you're going to collect information, and they're going to come into your community. Does that make sense? You can easily find that out. People are thinking, well, how do I find out if they have an email list of over 5,000 people? You have an application form where everyone that you interview will apply and just give you basic information. So if you're interested, I can send you the application form that I use for my interviews. But to give you an idea, when I did my last retreat, I interviewed 30 people. I just didn't stop. I don't recommend doing 30. Stop at 20. But I sent emails out to almost 300 people to get my 30 yeses in the time block that I needed. So here's where your resilience and your persistence is important. If you want to build 6K in 6 months, you got to get out there and you really have to start doing the do while keeping your head in check. Okay. So a challenge, what is a challenge? You might see these, a 5-day, a 7-day challenge to better abs, or a 5-day, 7-day challenge to mindfulness, whatever it is. Titles are important, and how you're promoting it is important. That's a whole other topic of marketing, but if you want more help on what to do with your summit or what to do for your challenge, send me a DM and we'll definitely chat more. Here's an example of different freebies that you can do. You can do ebooks, PDFs, checklists, secrets, tips, webinars, videos. Have fun. I want you to have fun with your opt-in, okay? I hope I'm really nailing this home. Lead generation, you need emails. The best way to get emails, from some sort of opt-in. Pick one and go, okay? Next, I need you to really understand your numbers. Here's where you go from, 6 figures in 6 months. Where is that money coming from? So I chose the 100K because that's 6 figures. So if you want to make 100K or more, you can put 200, 300, I don't care. If you want to make 100K in the next 6 months, where is that money coming from? Know your numbers. So often, this simple fact, here's where most people mess up. Because if you have a product that's $20, you're going to have to sell 500 units. Me, when I first did my first 6 figures in 6 months, I went with lower units at a higher price point. So I was closer to the 5,000. I did 3,000 to 5,000 price point. And so I needed less sales in order to reach my goal. So know your numbers and know your cost. I'm going to talk a little bit more about how to build your offer to make this more clear for you, but make sure you know your numbers. How you're going to get there, I need you to start having fun. I need you to start connecting with your community. I want you to ask them, what do you want? What would be fun for you? And start building your offers from there. You can do that through surveys on Instagram, Facebook, Google Drive, SurveyMonkey. There's so many different platforms. When is the last time you surveyed your community? I do it every week, whether it be through discussions or actual emails where I'm surveying them and asking them what they want. So I'm going to skip through some of this so I make sure I get through it all. But once you know your numbers, I need you to promote. I need you to pick your offer, and I need you to go from there. The thing is, do you notice here how I say modify and master? Here's where, when people get overwhelmed, they do nothing. I'm giving you information, but I need you to choose one thing. I need you to say, great, here's my numbers, here's my opt-in, and go. If you have too many offers or you have too many opt-ins, it just gets confusing. Keep it simple. If it doesn't work, that's okay. Modify. Once you've mastered it, then you can expand. Then you can create multiple offers. Then you can create multiple opt-ins. And then you can expand and start to scale your business. So, how to build your offer. We just talked a little bit about that. When you're surveying your people, here are some great things to find out from them. What are your goals? What are your dreams? What are your challenges? What's holding you back? Why are you not getting your dreams? What do you need help with? And once you know all of those things, that's how you build your offer. So often I have people come to me and say, oh, I had a course and nobody bought it. Well, oftentimes it's because the leads that you currently have or that you were going after don't actually want your offer, because you've created what you think they want and need, but they haven't actually told you what they need. Now, sometimes you're not far off, and all you need is a change of wording and marketing. How you figure that out is also in that survey, because in that survey, people are going to tell you what they want in the language that they understand. So I'll give you an example. One of my mentors, she realized that her clients that worked out were better in business. So what she did was she built a coaching program of how to get people to run a marathon. But she was just slightly off. Nobody bought. And let me remind you, this woman makes millions of dollars a month and nobody bought her program. It didn't mean her program was shit. It just meant how she communicated it was kind of off, and her target demographic wasn't resonating with how she pitched her offer. All she did was tailor it back because she realized that maybe a marathon was a little overwhelming, and she implemented a virtual running group as part of her offer, and then she sold out. So you can be, maybe you're just right there, you just need to slightly change the language and everything will change for you. So start talking to your people. What this does, it also gets them invested in you and gets them invested in what you have to offer. They feel part of the process. So bring them along for the ride, okay? Again, know your numbers. So if you want to build an offer, if you want to make $10,000 a month or more, I guess, yeah, $10,000 a month, let's go 120K. So if you want to make $10,000 a month, where's that $10,000 coming from? How many offers do you need to sell and how much is your offer? Here's where a lot of people make the mistake because they'll lowball their offer. But if you want to make a $3,000 or $5,000 offer, you can do it. You just have to make sure there's value and people will buy. So if you're having any resistance to that, you may need some mindset work. Let me modify. You will need some mindset work, but that's okay, because that's why you need to surround yourself with the right coaches and the right support to push you. My coach pushes me all the time and he's like, okay, up your prices. And I'm thinking, oh, I don't know if I can do that. And he just do it. And I, in blind faith, just do it and follow what he tells me. And then it works every time. So make sure you have the support behind you to help you get your goals. Okay. So I'm always going to recap here. So we're talking about generating new leads. Okay. getting them through an opt-in, knowing your offer and what you're providing, and knowing your numbers behind your offer. Now, providing value. This is the same as lead generation. However, it's coming from a different place. You're providing value to people already in your community. What does that mean? There are people already in your community that follow you, that want your product, that want your offer, and you're leaving money on the table. It's in there. They're just waiting for you to step up. So how do you get that money? You need to start providing value. You need to start providing tips and expertise. They need to start to see you as an expert, and they also need to know what you're offering. You need to start pulling up on the sales, and you need to start telling people what you do. Okay? So when you're providing value, I want you to think of these points. I want you to think about going back to what you survey on. So you're going to see similarities here. You're going to provide value by really understanding your target demographic. Who are they? What are their pain points? What are their dreams, desires, challenges? What are they currently Googling? And what would be their objections to your product or your offer? The answers to these questions are the value that you provide. You can provide this value through newsletters, webinars, social media, freebies, downloads. The opportunities are endless. So it doesn't matter how you provide the value, but you have to start showing up. So here you can see I broke down. You can provide this information through emails or texts. You can provide this through different online resources, events, webinars, downloads, challenges, opt-ins. I'm saying these words over and over so that you start to hear them and they become more familiar language to you. And you can also provide tips and value through social media. I broke down a tip of how to show up and actually provide on social. So in social media, I want you to consider that you can go live, you can do posts, you can do stories, collabs, and interviews. Now, here's where, again, you need to make sure you have the right support system to tell you how you can succeed. Right now, social media is, specifically Instagram, is favoring stories and videos, reels, shareable content, and saved content. Okay, so just kind of stay on the pulse, or just ask me and I'll let you know. So I need you to show up on your stories every day with tips, and then I want you to also show up on your feed with tips. You don't have to do that every day. Value over quantity. But here's how you can break this down. So when you're stepping up and you're providing value, you can follow these 4 tips. You're going to tell them what you're going to tell them, you know, kind of like the subject line of an email. You're going to touch on a pain point. So what that means is you're going to tell them why it's important to them. Why do they need to know this tip? Why is it going to change their life? Who needs to hear this tip? Then you're going to give them the tip. Then you're going to give them a call to action. DM me, comment below, sign up for this registration or this event, apply for a one-on-one. If you follow these 4 steps, you're going to have a lot more engagement. The area that a lot of people need to continue to improve is your call to action. Do not be scared to say, if you want to learn more about this, send me a DM that says mindset. Be very specific in your call to action. If you want me to edit some of your call to action, I might even just do a webinar just on that. Send me a DM and I'll look at your call to action, because I'm always telling people, be stronger, be more specific, get in there so that people read the call to action and say, yes, this is me. I have to do this. You have to guide people where to go. If you're noticing throughout this entire workshop, whether it be through the funnel or whether it be through your opt-in, people need to be guided. Where do they go next? How do they interact with you? How do they purchase? Another way to communicate via social media and or newsletters, all of that, you can do the myth versus truth. Here's the old way of doing it. Here's why it doesn't work. Here's the new way, and here's why it works. So here are two really good formats to use when providing value and content to your community. Again, I reiterate, call to action, call to action, call to action. Give information and tell them where they need to go. Okay? All right, we are almost coming to an end, which is good. I'm talking real fast, but that just means we have more time for questions, which is great. So now I'm going to bring you through what we've talked about, and then we're going to go to sales. So what we've talked about so far is generate leads. How do we do that? Through opt-ins and collecting emails. Once you've collected emails, you need to know your numbers. Where are you getting your revenue from? Then you're going to create an offer, whether that be your product or service that will actually resonate and sell with your community. You also need to consider providing value to your current community, making sure that you take that money off the table that's just sitting there waiting for you. And then now your last step is we are going to sales. So I need you to know that 80% of your time needs to be spent on sales, which means you need to show up, you need to make the offer. I'm repeating myself intentionally. And you need to know your numbers, and you need to know your conversion rates. What's a conversion rate? Conversion rates are, if you get on 10 sales calls, how many sales calls do you close? In order for you to sell, you need to up the amount of sales calls and leads and engagement with you. So how many people within that engagement are converting into a sale? What does that look like? So really starting to understand your back end. How many times did I promote this webinar? How many people signed up? How many times did I give this specific call to action, and how many people actually responded? Knowing how many people actually take action is going to help your coaches and help you figure out where your blind spots and where are your leaks. Because if you have 10 sales calls and you only sell one, then we know we need to improve your sales call. If you don't even get any sales calls, then we know that the leak is earlier on. So make sure that you know all of that data. Now, other ways to sell are on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, and TikTok. Again, going through some of that, the same dialogue that we talked about within the last slide, making sure that you provide value. That's within your captions and call to action. Blunt posts are also really important. You'll see it on my Instagram. I need you to actually tell people who you're looking for. I'll give you an example. I am looking for 5 entrepreneurs who want to double their income and adopt a millionaire mindset in the next 90 days. Period. I will personally coach you to have the best results that you've ever seen. Something like that. Okay, you can post that on Instagram, in an email, in LinkedIn, Twitter, and see who responds. You want people to start engaging. Who are you looking for? Who do you work with? And who can you help? DMs. DMs are really important to sell within your DMs. When you're selling within your DMs, you need to give a call to action. In your DMs, I need you to be able to answer 2 questions. And this is also linked to your sales call. If you need help with your sales call, send me a DM. I'll send you my sales call training. But when you're in your DMs, you need to know what are their goals, what are their challenges. Then you know if your product or service is a fit for them. I want to make sure that you know, what problem are you solving? Do you solve their problem? Do you solve their goals and desires and dreams? If so, they need you. So you need to start telling them that, communicating that in your Instagram and when you're connecting with them one-on-one in your DMs. Automated emails. You also sell in your automated emails. This is beautiful. This is how you make money in your sleep. And you also sell in, so automated emails and a launch sequence are kind of similar, but I put it here so I could give a shout out to Jeff Walker. If you are launching a product or a service, go check out his book, Launch by Jeff Walker, and he gives a specific sequence on how to sell your product. Now, ads. I put this here as well because they are important. However, far too many people get to ads way too quickly. You only get to ads, in my opinion, when you have mastered your sale, you know that your product or your offer sells, you know your funnel, how the customer experiences your brand and your journey and what you have to offer. You've set up those automations and you can really maximize your ad, because in your ad, you're usually giving a freebie, a free download or a free webinar, and then you're sending them through automated emails to then purchase your product or your service. Does that make sense? So make sure that that you sell. So for example, I actually haven't even done ads yet because I wanted to make sure for my business personally that I could max out my one-on-one clients, that I could sell my course, and that I could sell my membership. Because from there, then I can, when I actually do ads, it's very clear where I'm sending people to and where they go within the customer journey and experience. I also put here Facebook pixels. I don't care if you do ads and or if you're doing them right now. Even if you're just starting your business, get a Facebook pixel. What a Facebook pixel is, you will embed this in your website, in your opt-in, in your, your membership course, whatever. And what it does is it collects data on the people that are engaging with your brand. You can tell I love data. The more data you have about these people, the better. It can just sit there and it will collect data throughout all of this so that when you actually go to pay for ads, you know you can target your ads much better and you can service your clients much better. You'll be talking to the right people, which means you'll be able to convert at a higher rate. Okay, I think we are almost done. So let me quickly summarize and then we're going to open it up for questions. And I am on time. Okay, so how I made 6 figures in 6 months. I grew my email list. I had an opt-in to collect emails. I knew my numbers. I knew where my money was coming from, how many I needed to sell, and what my prices were. I created an offer and was very clear on my offer. I knew what my offer was and how it would sell. I also made sure I had the right coaches and help to make sure that I had the right offer. From there, I then also nurtured my community and made sure I took money off the table for people that were already in my community looking for what I had to offer. I started to show up. I started to provide more value. I started to get way better at sales, get on those one-on-one calls, provide tips, provide value, give people a call to action. And from there, I ended up making 6 figures in 6 months. So if you see the structure is simple, I hope you're seeing the simplicity to the structure. I'm not saying it's easy. And I totally get why it could feel overwhelming. So stick with one thing. Start with one opt-in. What is your opt-in going to be? Put in the chat box. What is your opt-in? What is your offer? From there, you can start to build the automation. You can start to nurture your clients. You can start to build your email list and have fun with it. Honestly, have fun. It can be so fun to expand into different areas of your business. I want to make sure you have money to survive and live the life that you have always wanted. So if you need more support on any of these things, reach out, apply for a one-on-one call. Again, I always give a free consultation call. I'll help you wherever you're at. Send me a DM on Instagram, stay connected. Let me know how I can help you. It's so important for me to help you because I've been there and I want to teach you everything I know. I don't want you to struggle. I don't want you to be stressed out. It doesn't have to be that way. So have fun. And I know that you can help so many people with your product or your service. So I want to make sure that people know how to get a hold of you and what you have to offer. If you want more information again on my one-on-one course or my online course, go to launchyourpower.com/online-course. And it is now open for registration. You can use promo code EARLYBIRD and get $400 off. or you can email me at iamvanessao@gmail.com. Okay, so I'm going to turn off the presentation and we're going to head into the chat box. Never give too much info. If people were to go onto my Instagram, onto my YouTube videos, into my membership, into all my free content, they'd get most of the stuff from my entire course. Nobody's ever going to do that. People pay for convenience. People pay for it all to be there. When you provide value, you build trust. Think about the people that are always like, oh, this is how to do this, but I'm not going to tell you. No, like people want to know, oh, Francesca really knows what she's talking about. I really trust Francesca. I want to buy her course. I want to buy her product. I want to buy her service. Give people value so that they can start to see small wins with the tips that you're giving them right now. You can never give too much, but make the content digestible. And maybe this is something I need to work on because I'm always giving so much content specifically in the workshops. But if you go to my Instagram, I give, here's one tip to relieve anxiety. Here's 3 tips to, making money this month, whatever it is for you. So I hope that makes sense. I'm going to go back to your original question, Francesca, about the shyness of posting and fear of criticism. So yeah, Francesca, definitely a mindset thing. Send me a DM on Instagram and I'm going to send you the Millionaire Mindset Workshop I did a couple weeks ago. In short, you're just going to have to feel the fear and do it anyways. There are definitely tools that I give in the last workshop to help you get over the fear and to process your emotions. Your emotions are valid. However, at some point you have to realize that your fear is not real. And you can pay attention to your fear and be aware of your fear, but currently you're being absorbed by your fear. Your fear is taken over. So I want to provide this analogy for you. Within each of us, there's 2 people. There's the fear and there's the truth of who you are. And I know you are, Francesca, and all of you that are listening. And at some point you have to decide, who are you going to show up as? So right now you're leaning into the fear and you need to choose to switch. Who wins, the fear or the truth? Whichever one you feed. So every day you're going to have to feed into the truth, and then it'll get easier and easier. But honestly, my course is perfect for you. I talk all about this. Send me a DM. We can hop on a one-on-one, and I can also send you my Millionaire Mindset Workshop from a couple weeks ago. But I hope that helps because it's a mindset thing, and you need to start shifting that pattern in your brain, and you need to stop letting the fear win. Okay, so we have a couple more questions. Brittany. Hey, Brittany, what's up? I built a women's conference through movement and hair care. Amazing. I teach my own Pilates, dance classes, and then combine my network marketing gig together. Look good, feel good. That sounds like so much fun. Okay, I'm having a hard time coming up with a opt-in. Is there a process you can go through to figure out what you should do? 100% survey. So what I would do for an opt-in, and I still do this, ask your community, what are your challenges? What are your fears? Figure out what they say. And then I want you to come up with about 4 topics and then ask them which one they want. So if you go through, what's your target demographic currently Googling? Like, what are their challenges? Why would they join your Pilates and dance classes? It depends if you're going to target them or for your network marketing, but you need to know, what do they want to know? Do they want to know a list of your best mantras? Do they want to know how to look good and feel better in the next 7 days? Maybe you do a challenge and every day you have a different exercise for them. So I want you to start really getting in the head space of your target demographic so that you start to understand who are they and what information do they need and how can you help them. and then ask them, just ask. And then once you've narrowed it down to a few topics, ask some more. Does that help, Brittany? Let's see, gain confidence, lose weight, feel ugly. Yeah, great. So one thing to really keep in mind for the opt-in is people want to know, and maybe I can do maybe my next webinar should be on how to build an opt-in, but I need you to know what results. So here's where you kind of have to have a little bit of marketing fun, and you can reach out and throw some things by me. But if you say, here are 3 tips to be more confident, it's not really exciting, right? But if okay, I might butcher this. I'm just doing this on the spot. But if you say, okay, here's a 7-day challenge to love the way you look when you look in the mirror, like I want a result, right? Lose weight. Here's how to lose 5 pounds in the next 30 days. Like, people need to know specifics. So that's why sometimes self-development can be kind of 7-day challenge to feel sexy. So what? What does feeling sexy get them? Right? Because not everybody might resonate. Oh, my hair's going all over the place. Not everybody may resonate with just feeling sexy. So what? So what if they feel sexy? What does that get them? Does that get them feel sexy and own? Own something. Yeah, exactly. So I want you to ask yourself, so what? So what if they're more confident? So what if they lose weight? The losing weight, people can resonate with a little bit just because of our society. Feeling ugly. If they feel ugly, they hate the way they look in the mirror, right? So 7-day challenge to love yourself when you look in the mirror every day, and then you can have a caption underneath that further explains, but make sure you give specifics on what they can expect to get out of this challenge. How is this challenge going to change their life? What results can they see when joining this challenge? Does that help, Brittany? Okay, awesome, cool. So fun. Have fun with them. My biggest opt-in was like 5 tips to networking and making friends as an adult. Literally thousands of people downloaded it. Now during COVID, I had to modify it, obviously, because networking has changed a little bit. But yeah, so just like have fun. And I'm always creating new ones. I'm going to create a new one now. Any other questions? Ladies, I'm so happy. And maybe we had James on too, so maybe James is still here. Yeah, he is. Awesome. Okay. So I hope this has been useful. Let me know if you have any more questions. I'll definitely stay on a few more minutes. Anything else? I'm so grateful for you being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Emails. What about emails, Brittany? She was asked a question. Is that what you're taking away? If you want to quickly comment in the chat box, what are you taking away from this workshop so that you can build your business? Would you like to share what product you were selling? Yeah, so it depends. So I sell coaching. So I did my high ticket offer. But when I sell my high ticket offer, that's how I brought in over $100K in 6 months, because I was selling $3,000 to $5,000 packages. So I was doing one-on-one. Another way to do that would be group, masterminds. Bottom line, we need to show up. Yes, Trisha. And you need to sell over and over and over. Keep going. Yeah, 100%, Brittany. Honestly, if I can give you any little bit of a toot, just you being here on this webinar and workshop shows me that you are committed and that you want to show up. I had over 100 people register for this webinar, and then you people are the ones that are here. You're the ones that want to make a difference and that want to start creating that path. Make sure you have the right people in your corner, guiding you along the way, showing you how to do it. Please, like I say this every time I'm on a workshop and a webinar, message me, keep me updated. I'm happy for you to say like, here's my offer. How does that sound? It is fast and quick, and I'm happy to offer support. Nobody ever takes me up on the offer, barely, right? So seriously, make sure to stay connected. I want to see you succeed, and I want to see you helping people. Will you be sharing the slides? No, I don't usually share the slides, Masa, but I do send out a recording of it so you can go through the recording and check these slides. Tatiana, you're welcome. I love you, girl. Okay, Brittany, so happy. I'm so glad you ladies are here. And James, I love having men on these workshops. Okay. James, I hope that answers your question of what product I was selling. But it doesn't matter. People have followed the same structure selling wine, right? But then when they go to the offer page, they think, okay, how can I create a bigger offer, right? How can I create maybe a bigger, I want to make more money, but I want to sell wine. So maybe you sell a package based on more purchases of wine, right? Then you have a couple options. You can either sell more to more people, sell more wine, or create a bigger package. So do you want to create an event or include wine glasses and do a collaboration, right? There's ways to be creative. I want you to be creative with your offer. I want you to have fun. When you have fun in business, then your business will succeed, right? For the most part. That's obviously a generalization, but I want you to have fun. It's not worth it if you're not having fun. Okay. So Brittany says, I'm currently getting my website done by Web of Words. Oh, yes. Okay. Carly at Web of Words did my copy, and she's awesome. I love her. Yeah. Another thing to note, and I love these little side chats that we have at the end of the day, make sure you're spending money on the right things at the right time in the right order. So often people will spend so much money on things that aren't important up front. So I want you to be really, really careful on where you spend your money and just invest in the right things at the right time. Right now, I hired a copywriter to help me with my landing pages and my emails, but I did it all myself before. And I'm super happy I did because I started to learn more about sales and connect better with my clients. Emily, thank you so much. Awesome. Oh, great. Look, we have Emily and James are connecting. So good. Okay. Emily Theodore, thank you for being here, Emily. Love it. Okay, any other questions? I love just hanging out with you. Emily gave a little clap and hands. So good. Okay. No, Tara. Hey, Tara. Nice to see you. Okay, any other questions, or are we can head off? Okay, please reach out. I love you guys so much. I'm so proud of you. Stick with it. Don't give up. Be persistent. Show up, and you got to sell. 80% of your time is on sales. Get on the sales calls. Promote your webinars. Promote your offers. Collect your emails. Go out there. Get it. Okay. Love you all so much, and stay connected. I will talk to you soon. Bye.